It started with a message, a simple hey. You seem interesting. Elena stared at her phone, thumb hovering. The sender's name was jreed_17, a stranger on a book forum she'd joined out of boredom. His profile photo was vague, just a coffee cup on a wooden table, but his comments were witty. Thoughtful. Kind, the kind of words her husband hadn't said to her in months. She responded, Elena used to believe her marriage was solid. Not flashy. Not perfect. But safe. Liam was a good man. Steady. Predictable. He paid the bills, remembered birthdays, and loaded the dishwasher with military precision. But over time, the excitement faded. Their conversations had become practical, grocery lists, broken taps, and whose turn it was to pick up dry cleaning. He still kissed her goodbye, but his eyes rarely lingered, and so, when Jay asked her what her favorite childhood memory was, it felt intoxicating. He listened. He remembered details. He told her she was clever, that he liked the way her mind worked. Elena found herself smiling at her phone under the bedsheets. It wasn't physical. Not at first, they just messaged. Then voice notes. Then late-night calls. Elena told herself it was harmless, just someone to talk to. She was still faithful. Technically, until Jay said, if we met in person, would you come? She hesitated. Then typed, yes. The moment she hit send, guilt struck like lightning. She shut off her phone and crawled into bed beside her husband. Liam didn't stir. They agreed to meet at a small café downtown on a rainy Friday afternoon. Elena wore her hair down and red lipstick, both of which had sat untouched for months. Her hands trembled as she opened the café door. She scanned the room, then she saw him. Her heart stopped, sitting at the far corner table, holding the same coffee cup she'd seen in Jay's profile picture. Was Liam, her husband? She froze. Couldn't breathe. Liam looked up. Calm. Eyes unreadable. He didn't smile, he just said, sit. She obeyed, knees weak, mouth dry. I don't understand. He reached into his coat pocket and pulled out a folded stack of printouts. Her messages, every one of them. Elena, he said, voice low. I wanted to know if we still had a chance. I wanted to see if your heart was still here, or if it already belonged to someone else. Tears welled in her eyes. Liam, you told a stranger things you never told me, he said. I had to become someone else just to hear you laugh again. Elena's throat tightened. Her perfectly applied lipstick trembled at the edges. I never meant to hurt you, she whispered. Liam stared at her for a long moment. But you did. His tone wasn't raised. He didn't cause a scene. That somehow made it worse. His disappointment was quiet and devastating. You were falling for someone you thought was a stranger, he said, sliding the printouts closer to her. You talked about how lonely you were, how boring I'd become. How you wished I noticed your new haircut. She blinked back tears. I felt like you didn't see me anymore. I did, he said softly. Every day. But you didn't see me either. Elena sat in silence. Her husband, the man she'd shared a home and life with for 8 years, had become someone else just to reach her. To test her, and she'd failed. They drove home in silence. The rain drummed against the windshield like a slow, angry metronome. Elena stared out the window, feeling like a stranger in her own life. That night, Liam slept in the guest room. She cried into his pillow. The next morning, he didn't kiss her goodbye. He just left, like a man walking away from a burning building. For the next few days, they coexisted like strangers. They avoided each other in the hallway. Conversations, when necessary, were mechanical. Then came Sunday morning. She found him in the backyard, watering the dying tomato plants she'd forgotten to tend. I want to talk, she said. Liam didn't look at her. About what? How I catfished my wife. Her stomach twisted. Please, don't reduce it to that. He turned to her, pain etched in the corners of his eyes. You were looking for someone. And it wasn't me. She looked down. I didn't recognize you in Jay's messages. Because that version of you hasn't spoken to me in years. He exhaled slowly. And maybe you haven't been that version of you either. 2 days later, Liam handed her a sealed envelope, no return address. Just her name. Inside was a letter, written not by Jay, but by Liam. Elena, you once said in a message, sometimes I miss who we were before life got heavy. So do I. This wasn't just a test of your loyalty. It was a test of our marriage, and my last desperate attempt to reach you. Reading your words broke me. But they also reminded me of who you used to be, passionate, curious, kind. I miss that woman, and maybe you miss the man who used to write you love letters on napkins. I don't know where we go from here. But I know that what we had was real, once. The question is, can we find it again? If you're willing to try, I'll be waiting at Café Margot, same time. Next Friday. No tricks this time. Friday came. Elena stood in front of the mirror in the same red lipstick she wore the day of the reveal. But this time, her heart wasn't chasing fantasy, it was hoping for forgiveness. She walked into Café Margot, scanning the room. He was there, not with a prop coffee cup. Not in disguise. Just Liam. Honest. Guarded. Waiting, she sat across from him, no words at first. Just 2 cups of coffee and the space between them, then she reached across the table. I want to come home, she whispered. For real this time. Liam looked at her for a long time, then nodded. Okay. But this time. We start from the truth. It wasn't easy. They started therapy. Set rules about boundaries and technology. Spoke the ugly truths they'd both buried beneath routine and politeness. Elena deleted her forum accounts. Liam stopped keeping score. They began taking walks again, no phones. Just hands. On their 9th anniversary, Liam gave her a framed napkin with her old quote written on it. Sometimes I miss who we were before life got heavy. Underneath, he'd written, let's never stop lifting it off each other. Temptation revealed the cracks in their love, but truth, forgiveness, and humility showed them the way back, because real loyalty isn't about resisting storms, it's about walking through them. And choosing each other on the other side. The end. My name is Temille Deebs. Please subscribe and make sure to click on the notification button to know when we upload a new video. Also like, share and comment your thoughts. Thank you and I will see you in the next video.